So Microsoft's E3 2019 press conference is now in the books, and I'm going to take the time out to look back on some of the things that I liked and some of the things that I didn't like about Microsoft's conference. So this is your Xbox E3 2019 press conference review, and we're doing it right now. Right, I'm going to get this out of the way right now, okay? I think Microsoft's E3 2019 press conference was a good conference. It wasn't a great conference, but it wasn't a, flaming pile of trash. Far from it. I thought this was a good conference. It wasn't as great as last year's. I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. I think it was a good conference, it wasn't a great conference. And I'm going to break down why I think it was a good conference and not a great conference. So one of the big things that Microsoft were doing, and they were teasing for quite some time, is that they were going big. Sony weren't here at E3 this year. A lot of other people had decided to move out completely and not do conferences at all, EA included. So this was really Microsoft's time to kind of come out and hit hard and see what they've got. And in a lot of ways, I think they did do that, but in many other ways, they didn't do that. They didn't really go the full 9 yards. And I think there's a reason for that, and I'll probably get to that in a later on video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the things that I didn't like about the conference, and then move into the things that I did like about the conference. So first things first, we're going to start with the negatives, and these are the negatives. Right, so my first big negative, and this is probably the main one, is that there was hardly any gameplay shown in this entire conference, which is somewhat unheard of. Basically, we got CGI trailer central for this conference. There was hardly any gameplay at all. There was no point. Was there a single person on that stage with a controller in their hand showing us how a game was working? Not one. And I don't know whether that was a choice from Microsoft themselves or whether that was a choice from a lot of the third-party games that they were showing, but to have no gameplay demo on stage at all was just weird. It was just full of trailers. And leading into that, one of my slightly gripes about the conference was the fact that we got no Gears 5 gameplay at all. Gears 5 was announced that it's coming out in September, which is really early. I wasn't expecting September. Maybe October, a push November. For September and early September at that, I was quite surprised. And we didn't see any gameplay. We got a really cool trailer, in my eyes, with Kate showing her different mindsets. We got this really cool reveal of this new escape mode, but at no point did we get any gameplay at all. So gameplay was completely lacking from this show, and although I feel like gameplay demos can somewhat slow the pace down of a show, and I think there have been instances where games with gameplay have showcased really well, and there have been games which have showcased really poorly. I think to go through a whole conference with no gameplay, regardless of whether it affects the pace of your show, was a poor decision. And I do think overall that took the shine off the conference, the fact that there was no gameplay. Hopefully we get to hear from Phil Spencer as to why that decision was made, but it was a bit of a bum, I'm not going to lie. One of the other things that I was a bit, not upset with, but I felt could have been done a lot better was the messaging behind xCloud. So Project xCloud is definitely a thing, it's happening, and they basically went through the whole talk and spiel about how your Xbox One is going to act as a dedicated server with which you can stream your Xbox One games from onto a mobile device or a tablet, which was fine, but the way this was messaged was really quite poor, and it just seemed really kind of empty. xCloud has been something that people have been really excited for quite a while, to take their Xbox games on the move wherever they want, console, PC, tablet, phone, and it just kind of fell flat a little bit, which was odd, especially with Google now really, really pushing this envelope out there. It felt really, really flat the way that Microsoft kind of said, oh yeah, well, xCloud, you've got Xbox One dedicated server, which is free, because, it means we don't have to pay for any more additional hardware, which is great, because, we don't want to have to pay for more things than we don't need to. But with Google going the way that they have, it just felt odd. It just felt really, really odd. Another big negative, not a big negative, is that we got no big first-party surprise. And I was kind of expecting that, because I feel that Microsoft have saved themselves in a way, which I'll get to probably in a future video. But there was no and one more thing. Like last year, Halo Infinite opened the show, which was a massive surprise. We got Gears at the end of the show. We got all those Game Studio announcements in the middle of the show. And the one more thing last year was the reveal of Cyberpunk 2077. We got no reveal this year. No big surprising reveal. Even third-party reveal. It kind of ended with the Scarlet announcement, ended with Halo Infinite coming at launch with Scarlet, and then the sizzle reel, and then that's it. I was hoping for one more game after that, and it didn't really come. So I guess that's my own personal expectations, but I felt that was missing. And the other big negative that I had was that Ori got delayed. Like, I'm gutted about that. Ori has been delayed to early 2020, which I think it's February, and I'm actually really gutted about that because that is the one game that I was really, really looking forward to. I thought it was a lot closer than this. So I guess we just have to settle with Gears 5 for now. But the theme of the show was 2020, 2020, 2020. You know, that's how it's gone. But, you know, you take some, you lose some. So now into the positives, because there was a lot of positives about the show. I've started with the negatives and I've kind of droned on a little bit, but there were a lot of positives. So the Outer Worlds opened the show, which looks awesome. I'm really, really excited for that game. That was one of my most anticipated games for E3. You can check out my other video on the channel for that. Really, really excited about that. That's coming October 25th. Cannot wait. That looks really good. We then got Bleeding Edge, which is the new game from Ninja Theory. Now, I will stress, because a lot of people were losing their minds a bit on Twitter and a bit on the internet, this is not their only game. This game has been in development for some time. They've come out, they've announced it. They are working on other games. They have confirmed this. So those holding out for Hellblade 2, such as me, there are other games in the works. So relax. This is not the only game they're making. This is the game that they have ready right now. But again, it looks really cool. It's kind of Rage / Overwatchy-esque, I guess. But it looks really cool. It's a 4v4 melee combat game. It looks really, really cool. I cannot wait for that. We then got an announcement of 12 minutes. Now, this was kind of the atmospheric indie game, which looks awesome. It's a bird's eye view of just people in a room, and they're talking about how this guy seems to be in a loop, and it looks really, really cool. I'm really, really fascinated by that game. I don't think we got a release date, but I'm really, really stoked for that one. That looks really cool and really intriguing. Now, Gears 5. I did hark on about Gears 5 gameplay not being there, but I did really, really like the fact that we got to see a decent amount of Gears 5, regardless of whether there was gameplay or not. I am really, really excited for this game. I am a Gears fan. I'm already invested in this franchise, I know, but I cannot wait. What they're teasing about Kate's story looks so fascinating, and it looks like they're really, really going to push the boat out here and go for it and give us something new and something innovative, not only with the campaign, but with the escape mode. You know, they're going to reveal more about Horde and Versus later on, so I thought that was all positive. Gears 5 looked awesome. It looks really, really good. We did get a nice surprise in the form of Double Fine joining the Xbox Game Studios as a first-party acquisition for Microsoft. And it was a really cool moment, actually. Tim Schafer came out on stage. He was quirky and funny. And he also showed off a new cinematic trailer for Psychonauts 2, which is looking very nice. So it's nice to see that Microsoft are continuing buying up studios, independent studios, very good independent studios, to help them develop some games for the future. And we've got a new Elite controller. So we've got an Elite controller Series 2, which basically brings in much deeper customization. It allows you to have 3 programmable layouts, which you can use for different games. There's tension controls. There's much deeper customization with the triggers. There's all sorts of goodies going on here. It seems to be a much more thorough, put together controller with lots more customization, which is obviously what you're going to want for, you know, the money that you're paying for. But that looks really good for those people that are interested in that kind of hardware and going really deep into that. Now, this one's a bit of a quirky one, I'm not going to lie, but Forza Horizon 4 is getting a LEGO Speed Champions update. Now, this one was weird, but I'm really excited for it in kind of a kiddish kind of way. It's basically bringing LEGO to Forza, and it's odd, and you wouldn't have expected it, and I don't think anyone expected it, and I kind of think like people kind of looking at it going, what? But I'm actually really, really excited for this. It looks really kind of cool, funky and quirky, and it gives me a reason to get back into Forza Horizon 4, to be fair. I started off quite strong with that game and then faded with time, but I'm definitely going to pick this up through Game Pass. This looks really, really cool. Then Phil Spencer came out and officially announced Project Scarlet as the project towards the next Xbox console, with a nice little VDoc similar to what they did with Project Scorpio. And summarising a whole lot of talk, it's basically the next Xbox or Project Scarlet will be able to run up to 120 frames per second, have 8K capability, a custom AMD Zen 2 and Navi processor, GDDR6 RAM, 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X, 40 times performance increase over current gen consoles, and it will be coming in fall 2020. Now, this is all very, very exciting, but again, it's something that we mostly anticipated, and I'm wondering just how expensive this is going to be. I think price is going to have a massive impact on this console, but that's all stuff that we can find out next year. But all in all, again, this did its purpose. It kind of confirmed everything that we already knew, but it was nice to finally get some confirmation from Phil. and it is going to be launching with Halo Infinite. And that then transitions into our Halo Infinite story cinematic, which was just gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. You know, Chief's armor looks brilliant. The pilot for the Pelican, oh my god. I hope he's actually in the game and Chief actually saves him, because my heart went out for him. Oh, it was so emotional. When he wiped the screen and we got to see Chief just floating in space again. I don't care. It was awesome. It just... All this kind of Halo stuff is just really hitting me in the feels, and it's getting me really emotional, and it is hitting the nostalgia button, but it also means that I cannot wait for what they're actually going to give with the game. They didn't give us any gameplay. I wasn't expecting gameplay, especially knowing that I expected the game to be out next year, so it looks like we're going to get gameplay at E3 next year. But all the Halo Infinite stuff is just really, really gorgeous, really good looking. I'm loving the art style, and it's also leaving us with a lot of questions, which I think some people might be irritated with, but I'm kind of okay with, because it means that there's lots to look forward to for next year, when they're probably going to release the whole console. We're going to get to see the box and everything. That looks really, really good. And then finally, the biggest of all positives was Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red are the hype kings. I don't care what anyone says. These guys can hype a game like no other. I was completely sold on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt purely based on what they did at E3 and the trailers that they put out, the gameplay that they put out. That was what got me into that game. And it's doing the same for Cyberpunk. And not only have they just gone and hyped the game beyond belief, they've then done it by adding none other than Keanu Reeves into the game. He's actually a character in the game. He's not a cameo, he's an actual character. And then the man himself came out on stage. Everyone was going nuts. He had to quiet everyone down. There was a heckle in the crowd, which he responded to brilliantly. It was awesome. The whole thing, that whole like 5 or so minutes of gameplay reveal. Well, it wasn't gameplay reveal, but trailer reveal. Keanu Reeves reveal. Keanu Reeves coming out on stage. The release date reveal, early 2020. Slightly annoying, but okay, fine. Was just awesome. That was the highlight of the show. It's a little disappointing that the highlight of the show was a third-party game. I would hope it would be a first-party game, but I don't care. I love this game. I love this developer. Awesome. Cannot wait. Right, so I'm going to wrap this all up now, and I think Microsoft's E3 press conference of 2019 was a good conference. It just wasn't a great conference. I thought last year's conference was better, but I don't think by any means it was awful. I just think it was... It showed that it was a conference that was coming at the end of a generation. It was showing that it was a conference that needed a big kind of bang surprise, especially a first party one. But it's quite clear that Microsoft don't want to, you know, throw all their cards out right now. It looks like they're saving some stuff back. You know, we didn't see the potential Fable game that still hasn't been confirmed, but it's still rumored. We didn't see anything from the Initiative. We didn't actually see the console in its box. I didn't expect that, but some people were. We still haven't got many big reveals in terms of first-party games yet that are just going to be for, you know, the Xbox brand. Obviously, it's too early for that, but I definitely expect to see more things next year. I felt that all in all, the pace was good. I felt that the conference was well put together again. It just missed that kind of bang that it had last year. It didn't really have that bang. You know, Cyberpunk was awesome, but we knew it was coming. Halo was awesome, but we knew it was coming. Gears 5 was fine, we knew it was coming. Xbox, you know, this Project Scarlet, we knew that was coming. Like, everything that was good, we already knew about. We just didn't get that real kind of big surprise that I think a lot of people were hoping for. But hopefully, we're going to get that next year. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, then please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to InstallationX. Your support is greatly appreciated. Let me know your thoughts on the conference down below, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it. I feel this one might be a bit divisive, but it's all fine. Follow me and the channel over on Twitter at installation_ix, capitalised, capital X. And remember, I'm Sykes, and for all things Xbox, stay tuned to InstallationX. Bye, guys.